Yes. Just to have my mic, yeah. Testing on the mic. LUNGE and Asana, yeah. It's me, Jessica. I'm in here. Just kidding. My name is Jordan. Welcome to this.
Asana breakdown.
Welcome back to today's Asana breakdown. If you're wondering about my t-shirt, all I have to say to you is this is a house of progress, not perfection, and healing looks different for everyone. Also, God put me on this earth to do one thing, and that one thing is to combat the beige millennial stereotype, one mildly to wildly inappropriate t-shirt at a time. Today we will be talking about one of my favorite poses, LUNGE and Asana. Low lunge. That's right, baby. There's so much you can do and so many sensations. A part of me feels like also I'm making these asana breakdown videos for people like me who harbor enemies of the state inside their kneecaps. Another part of me is making this particular asana breakdown for all my mega bendy Instagram yoga baddies. Honey, what's going on? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I totally understand that. But I'm 34 years old. I can't fit any more secrets in my lower back. It's filled up, okay? So we got to distribute the load evenly here in this house. There's a couple of different ways we can get to low lunge. The famous tabletop shape. Wrists under the shoulders. Knees under the hip points. Finding a long spine here, signaling to the body that we are ready to bring integrity into the next posture or fucking something like that, whatever. And if you recall from our active tabletop shape, we're pressing so much so into the tops of the feet that we could send that booty to outer space. We want to bring that party to our low lunge. So kicking the right toes back, taking a deep breath in, exhaling, pulling the right knee to the nose, think cat pose, and stepping that right foot forward. Finding our two planes here, keeping the intention not to dump our weight anywhere. Are we already here? We can even incorporate a block or two. Finding the base of our low lunge here, pressing into the right big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the heel, accessing the foot block, our pada bandha. And here we find liftoff, pressing into the top of the left foot, again to protect the chamber of secrets down here, sweeping the hands forward and up, pulling the right hip back, and melting the left hip forward. We're also hugging the inner thighs to an invisible midline, reaching the hands up. Maybe that's not our vibe for today. Maybe we want to be here, hands on the hips. No biggie. Maybe prayer hands at heart center, or if that's activating, call this something else. I invite you to do whatever the fuck you want. It's your practice, and I love that for you. But we also want to create a practice that is sustainable, something we can do forever. I don't know about you, but I really, really want to be some old, crusty bitch doing yoga, okay? That's my dream. I also have a wife, chickens, 8 25-year-old boyfriends. We may experience some sensation, especially if we're backing out. I'm a super bendy human being. I'm not sure what's wrong with me. Definitely something, but I'm very bendy. So it's really easy for me to come down here, but I notice when I press into the feet while simultaneously pulling the right hip back, the left hip forward, hugging everything to the midline, I can experience a whole new sensation that's a little bit more therapeutic. And creating this space helps me keep the weight from dumping in my low back. And then we come on out. Oh my fucking God. And we take it to the other side. Maybe we're coming from a downward dog. Tucking the toes, sitting back towards the heels, spinning the elbow creases to look forward, almost like we're opening jars, pressing into all 10 fingertips. Taking a deep breath in to grow long, crown to tail. Lift the knees a teensy bit off the mat. And on the exhale, tilting the tail towards the sky as we melt the heels towards the earth. Finding our beautiful downward dog shape, remembering that as long as it feels like love in our body, who the fuck cares what it looks like? Not me, baby. Not me. We can come to our low lunge from a 3-legged dog, lifting the left leg up high and exhaling just like in our tabletop shape, finding that cat spine, pulling the navel up and in, and stepping the left foot forward. Or maybe we're coming from our downward dog, bending the left knee, pulling that bad boy in, and stepping that bad boy up, dropping the right knee, untucking the right toes. If you want to keep the right toes tucked, that feels more supportive to you in your body, please do that. Just press into those toes and see if you can find a sturdier base. For me, my knee feels a little bit more protected. The weight feels a little bit more distributed when I have my toes untucked. I'm literally wheezing because I went for a walk and got very sweaty because it's mid-January in Texas. Fuck. We sweep the hands forward and up, pulling the left hip back. I like to reach my hands up to remind the rest of my body to grow up and out of my low back. So we don't want to be dumping here. And when we do that, engage the core muscles. Press into your little toe beans on the left foot. Taking deep, beautiful breaths. Pressing into the top of the right foot. Hugging everything into the midline. We can have this full body yoga experience in a relatively basic shape. I say basic because you'll see it in a lot of general public classes. You'll see it in a lot of warm-ups. But there's a lot going on here. And then you can go anywhere. You can find your half splits. Again, utilizing the top of that right foot, digging the left heel in. And in a lot of postures, we see this recurring theme of opposites coming together to create harmony, to create balance, to create a therapeutic, sustainable sensation. That's what we're going for here, fam. And if you do get a little bendier, maybe you want to sink that bad boy in there. Be mindful of this meeting of opposites, this pulling back as we melt forward and hugging to the midline. That way we can get these bendy Instagram baddie shapes without causing harm to the body, risking injury, and perpetuating the idea that yoga has to look a certain way. Newsflash, it doesn't. Anyway, I hope you found some of this helpful. Low lunge is one of my favorite poses. Everything changed when I started pulling that hip back and I stopped dumping everything forward to hurl myself into the shape that I thought I was supposed to make. Instead of having the full body yoga experience, it can also be helpful to have all those checkpoints in your own mind as you're moving through your own personal practice to give yourself something to bite down on. Yoga is hard. A lot of people don't like yoga because the mind wanders and the body can't reconcile the way that the mind can. So things get trapped in here, especially in those hips. A wise woman once told me the hips don't lie, and that woman was Shakira. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you again for joining. Tune in next week for another
Asana breakdown.
I'm starting to wish maybe I didn't do that in the first video. Namaste, my friends.